In this explainer, we're going to dive into the surprisingly deep history of something you probably use every single day without even thinking about it. The simple pen.
Seriously, think about it for a second. That little object you're holding? It's the result of thousands of years of innovation, of trial and error, and of this fundamental human need we all have to just make a mark and share our ideas. It's a story of technology, of culture, of history, all wrapped up in this tiny pocket-sized tool.
So to really get the story of the pen, we have to rewind. We have to go way back to a time before it even existed. A time when that desire to write things down, to record history, to communicate across generations, well, that desire was just as strong, but the tools were, let's just say, a lot more work.
The physical effort of early writing was just incredible. This wasn't something you did on a whim. It meant literally chiseling into rock, painstakingly pressing every single symbol into a wet clay tablet, or dipping these frayed reeds into some basic ink to write on fragile papyrus.
So the core problem was obvious. Writing was heavy, it was messy, and it was just unbelievably inefficient. Humanity really needed a better way to get thoughts from inside our heads onto a page. The stage was set for a true game-changing invention.
And that first major breakthrough? The quill. For the very first time, writers had a tool that was lightweight, pretty easy to make, and it could create this elegant, flowing script. It was a total revolution that would last for over 1,000 years. And what is a quill? Well, it's made from the flight feather of a big bird, like a goose or a swan. And it was just so effective. It became the absolute standard for everything from, those beautiful monastic manuscripts, all the way to the Declaration of Independence. It literally shaped the written world for a millennium.
But it was far from perfect. Oh man, while the quill had this incredible precision and flexibility, it came with a whole list of frustrations. You had to constantly dip it in ink, there were the inevitable ink stains and smudges, and the tip was so delicate it would wear out and you'd have to constantly recut it. The demand for something cleaner and more convenient was definitely getting louder.
So this is where the pace of innovation just explodes. The 19th and 20th centuries saw inventors totally laser-focused on fixing the quill's biggest flaws. And that led to this burst of new ideas that would, honestly, forever change how we write.
And you can just see the acceleration right here. After 1,000 years of the quill just dominating, suddenly the fountain pen appears. And then, just a few decades later, the ballpoint pen. It was this rapid-fire series of breakthroughs, with each one building on the last.
The first big leap was, of course, the fountain pen, and its genius was this internal ink reservoir. It got rid of the single most annoying part of using a quill, the inkwell. Now you could write continuously, page after page. It was just a massive step forward in convenience.
But the fountain pen, it still had a problem. See, it relied on this thin water-based ink that smudged easily and took a little while to dry. So this posed the next great engineering challenge. Could someone invent a pen that used a thicker, almost paste-like ink that dried pretty much instantly?
And the answer to that was the ballpoint. Its mechanism is just beautifully simple. A tiny little metal ball sits in a socket at the tip. As you move the pen, the ball rolls. It picks up that thick oil-based ink and applies it smoothly to the page. No leaks, no smudges, no fuss. But here's the really clever part. Because it used pressure, it unlocked a brand new capability, making carbon copies. Suddenly, business and bureaucracy could move at a whole new speed. It was a genuine revolution.
Okay, so that brings us to the modern era. The core idea of the ballpoint was so successful that it basically created a platform for an incredible diversity of new writing tools, each one tailored for a specific need or a different feel.
So take the gel pen, for example. It's the perfect hybrid. It uses a water-based gel ink that flows with that liquid smoothness of a fountain pen, but it's delivered with the super reliable ballpoint mechanism. It's really the best of both worlds. And the pen's evolution is still going, right into our digital world. The stylus for your tablet or phone, it's the direct descendant of those very first sharpened reeds. It does the exact same thing, translating the movement of our hand into a mark. It's just that now, the page is a screen.
This quote from Cervantes just captures the whole thing perfectly. For centuries, this simple little tool has been the main bridge between our inner thoughts and the outside world. It gives a voice to our ideas.
The technology has changed so dramatically. From a feather to a stylus. But that fundamental human impulse behind it hasn't changed one bit. We still want to record things, to share things, to express ourselves. So the next time you pick up a pen, or even a stylus, just take a second. You're holding thousands of years of human history right there in your hand. And it makes you wonder, right? With all the amazing tools we have now, and all the ones that are still to come, how are we